On May 28, 2023, Shanghai Pudong International Airport buzzed with anticipation. Journalists, officials, and aviation fans gathered to witness the first commercial flight of the COMAC C919, China Eastern Airlines' newest jet. This wasn't just another plane. It was China's first domestically developed large passenger jet, ready to fly from Shanghai to Beijing. The event was a carefully staged spectacle, brimming with national pride and technological ambition. As Flight MU-9191 prepared for takeoff, the moment marked a turning point. For decades, Boeing and Airbus ruled China's skies, but now, a homegrown contender was ready. The C919's journey was the result of 15 years of relentless effort, overcoming setbacks and technical hurdles. Its engines roared, a sound that echoed China's determination to lead in high-tech manufacturing. The flight was smooth, the cabin modern, and the passengers, many invited guests, knew they were witnessing history. This short trip symbolized China's transformation from global factory to technological innovator. When the C919 landed in Beijing, it was greeted with a ceremonial water salute, broadcast live across the nation. The public's reaction was one of overwhelming pride. This was more than a technical milestone, it was a statement of intent on the world stage. The Dragon had not just stirred, it had taken flight on wings of its own making. A new chapter in global aviation had begun. The COMAC C919 is more than a jet, it's a symbol of China's ambition and the centerpiece of the Made in China 2025 plan. Building a commercial airliner is among the most complex industrial feats, demanding mastery of aerodynamics, materials, electronics, and supply chains. For China, the C919 was a national mission, testing its technological limits. The name itself is symbolic, C for China and COMAC, 9 for everlasting, and 19 for its 190-seat capacity, directly challenging Boeing and Airbus. The project's every detail reflects a drive to break into a market long dominated by Western giants. For the Chinese public, seeing a homegrown airliner in the sky is a powerful source of pride. The government has showcased the C919 as proof of China's rise and its intent to compete at the highest level. The aircraft is a clear message. China will no longer be just a customer in aviation, it aims to be a leader. The C919 embodies China's push to reduce dependence on the West and forge its own path. Its success is measured not just in sales, but in the geopolitical message it sends. The world is watching as China challenges the old order. The C919's journey began in 2008, but China's aviation industry had little experience with large jets. COMAC relied heavily on Western partners for critical components, engines from CFM International, avionics from Rockwell Collins, and systems from Honeywell and others. This foreign dependence was both a shortcut and a vulnerability. Critics called the C919 assembled in China, not truly Chinese, since its most advanced parts were imported. Still, the project was a learning platform, with the goal of mastering these technologies over time. Integrating diverse systems proved challenging, causing repeated delays. The first flight, planned for 2014, slipped to 2017, and certification was a long, difficult process. These hurdles exposed the steep learning curve China faced, but they also fueled a determination to achieve true independence in aviation. The lesson was clear: assembling parts wasn't enough. China needed to master the core technologies. The drive for self-sufficiency had only just begun. The real turning point came when US-China tensions escalated. In 2020, the US threatened to restrict COMAC's access to American technology, especially the LEAP-1C engines. The intent was to halt the C919's progress, but it had the opposite effect. The threat exposed China's vulnerability and turned self-reliance into a national security imperative. Beijing responded by pouring resources into domestic aerospace programs, accelerating efforts to develop homegrown technology. The US campaign, meant to contain China, instead galvanized its engineers and leaders. Funding for research and development soared, and the quest for independence became urgent. Sanctions were framed as an attack on sovereignty, rallying public and political support. What might have taken decades was now a national crusade. The US hoped to protect its advantage, but instead created a determined competitor. China's drive for self-sufficiency was now unstoppable. The global aviation landscape was forever changed. The Dragon was learning to fly on its own terms. In response to engine embargo threats, China accelerated work on the CJ-1000A, its first domestically developed high-bypass turbofan. Building a modern jet engine is one of the toughest engineering challenges. Few nations have succeeded. The CJ1000A, designed to replace the imported LEAP-1C, became the heart of China's aviation ambitions. By late 2023, the engine had completed its first flight tests, marking a breakthrough. Mastering jet engine technology would free China from foreign dependence and secure its aviation future. The CJ1000A is arguably a greater achievement than the airframe itself. With this engine, China is poised to become a true global aviation power. For decades, Boeing and Airbus dominated the global aircraft market. The C919 is the first real challenge to their duopoly, and China is the world's fastest-growing aviation market. Chinese airlines, encouraged by the government, have already placed hundreds of orders. By capturing its domestic market, COMAC denies Boeing and Airbus a huge share of future sales. The C919's competitive pricing and growing support infrastructure make it attractive, especially for developing countries. COMAC is seeking international certification, aiming to expand beyond China. Countries with close ties to Beijing may be early adopters, diversifying their fleets and reducing reliance on the West. The duopoly is no longer secure. A new era of competition has begun. The skies are opening to new contenders. China's rise in aviation has major geopolitical consequences. For decades, selling aircraft gave the US and Europe leverage and influence. The C919 offers nations an alternative, especially those under Western sanctions or seeking to align with China. Aviation is now a tool of Chinese diplomacy. With aircraft deals strengthening political ties, the rise of COMAC is shifting global supply chains, creating a new center of gravity in aerospace. The industry may split into Western and Chinese ecosystems, forcing countries to choose sides. Technologies developed for the C919 have military applications, boosting China's defense capabilities. The Asia-Pacific region and beyond will feel the impact. The skies are now a new front in great power competition. The balance of influence is shifting. The world must adapt to a new aviation reality. The C919 story is a lesson in unintended consequences. US efforts to contain China's aviation ambitions only accelerated Beijing's drive for independence. Sanctions forced China to mobilize resources and talent, achieving self-reliance faster than anyone expected. The US underestimated China's resolve and capacity for rapid progress. Instead of stalling a rival, the West created a formidable competitor. The Boeing-Airbus duopoly now faces its greatest challenge. The global aerospace landscape is being reshaped. Competition will drive innovation and lower costs. The Dragon's wings were forged in the fire of sanctions. By 2025, the C919 is a reality. Flying commercial routes, with production ramping up, Boeing and Airbus now share China's tarmacs with a homegrown champion. The successful integration of the CJ1000A engine signals true independence. The world is entering a new era of three-way competition in the skies. Airlines and nations must navigate a more complex, fragmented market. The C919 story is one of ambition, pride, and the unpredictable effects of global rivalry. Technological leadership is no longer guaranteed, it must be earned. The attempt to hold China back only made it stronger. The Dragon is in flight and the world must adjust. Increased competition will benefit travelers and drive innovation. Boeing and Airbus must adapt or risk falling behind. The rise of COMAC is disruptive, but disruption fuels progress. The skies of the 21st century will be more crowded, competitive, and dynamic, thanks to the C919 and the nation that built it.